Hey folks, here at OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of the Dodocool in-ear style wood headphones. You can find these on Amazon for under 25 bucks, which makes them a competitor to the Symphonized NRG series of wood in-ear headphones. They share a resemblance in terms of design. However, Dodocool is definitely a company that's not as well known at the moment, and in terms of differences, they also includes a few more accessories in the packaging, and also the build quality here, although it is made out of wood on the sides, also features some aluminum alloy accents on the internals in terms of the drivers. So it's a bit more sturdy, but at the same time it slightly changes and alters, if wood gives a certain sound signature, it kind of changes that. The wiring being used here is also fairly unique because it matches the same color as wood and it has a slightly soft texture to it. It's not exactly as great as a flat ribbon wire cable, but that's also something that Symphonized NRG series are lacking at the moment as well, so not too much of a difference as far as competitors are concerned. You have a splitter here, and then finally it has a 1.2 meter long cable length with a gold-plated 3.5mm plug, which also makes it quite easy to insert and take out of any headphone ports on a smartphone or an MP3 player. You'll notice that there isn't a dedicated remote on this specific model, which means that if you want to use this for speakerphone calls, using it with a smartphone, unfortunately that's not going to be found here. Because there isn't a remote, you also can't use this to change the volume or skip and play pause your music, so that's something to quickly note. Otherwise, the packaging also includes a set of tips which you can use to customize your fit depending on the ear size, how snug you want the tips to fit, as well as a thank you card that includes a bit of specifications about the AC800 series. You can see it has a 10mm driver in here as well, and there's a sensitivity of 104 decibels, an impedance of 32 ohms, and otherwise these specs are fairly similar to, again, the Symphonized NRG 3.0s that we saw a few days ago. Here we also have access to a hard shell carrying case to protect your investment when you are traveling. Going back to the design of the headphones, I would say that overall they are fairly attractive despite not being overly in the face and hyper stylized. They do have a quietly attractive look going on, which I do like. Otherwise, you can see the metal alloy also goes through the back of the earphones themselves, and it also attaches onto the bottom here where you might be pulling the earphones in and out of your ears. So it does have a pretty good sense of confidence and durability when you are using these. The silicone tips here are fairly soft and they do insert all the way into the ears. I tried running around with these and they still felt pretty secure because part of the construction is made out of wood, and wood is a rather light material, compared to, let's say, a completely made out of metal. These are pretty comfortable even if you're using them for, I would say, 2 to 3 hours of continuous music playback. As far as noise isolation, they do a decent job as well, so you can kind of seal off whatever is going on around you. They're not active noise canceling, so if you're using these on a plane, you'll still be able to hear some of the engine in the background, but it's by far better than any boxed in your headphones or any airplane headphones that you might get complimentary as a gift from, let's say, some kind of carrier. But otherwise, they do work fairly well, and as far as the overall cable noise, it also isn't as bad as I thought it would be, so you can move around with these. You don't really hear the cable moving either, which is a good sign. And so finally, moving into the audio quality, I would say that the Dodocool headphones, they sound pretty good. They are fairly loud as well as balanced, and they do have a clear overall sound quality to them. So if you're listening to, let's say, classical music, if you're listening to pop music or electronic music, you'll be able to hear the various parts of the song and pretty vivid clarity as well. So if you're hearing all the various instruments in the background, maybe the cello in addition to the violin and the piano, you'll be able to discern all these parts, whereas other headphones I've tried in this price category were more mushy sounding and they squeeze all that sound together. So this is quite clear. Lower frequency in terms of bass could be improved on these. They don't pack quite as much of a punch, but overall not bad either, especially at this price point range. So all in all, if you're listening to pop music, electronic music, I think that most folks should be pleased with these. But again, these are really meant for music listening only and not for using as earphones for talking or speaking to someone when connected to a smartphone. Otherwise, they are pretty high fidelity, although they're not quite audiophile grade headphones. I would say that Dodocool did a pretty good job here, and it will serve as a good competitor to Symphonized NRG series. Slightly different sound signature, a little bit sharper, a bit more clear and clean, but it also has a slightly, I feel like a slightly more attractive overall look going on, but it has the same flaws as the NRG, which is the emission of a flat ribbon wire, so it tangles a bit more easily. You can check out more details about this in our official written review, but for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This has been the Dodocool AC800 in-ear style wood headphones.